Good morning and evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the Bonnie J. Addario Lung Cancer Living Room and Patient Educational Series. I'm Bonnie, and thank you for joining us. From our living room to yours. We are all living with lung cancer, and our goal is to bring hope into your home. Empowered patients live longer, and our message is simple. We want you to live. Really good though.
So, hi again, everybody. For all of you out there in TV land, I already did this once, not realizing that you couldn't see me, but now that you can, welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry for the delay. There was a little bit of traffic. People were having some trouble getting in tonight. But as always, like I feel like I'm repeating myself kind of like an idiot to everybody in the room, but it is our favorite night of the month, and we're so happy that you could all be here. Tonight is our holiday celebration. So we do not have a speaker tonight, just to kind of set the stage for what's going to happen. We're going to go ahead with our Around the Room because, as always, we love to hear updates from everyone and kind of what's going on and where you are at. I thought that a thing that we could maybe add tonight in light of the recent events in Newtown, Connecticut, not only a brief moment of silence maybe from all of us for acknowledging the tragic moment, but how, for me, it put certain things into perspective and how maybe it made me think about things that I'm grateful for and how, and nobody, no matter who they are or what their situation may be, no matter how tragic for them personally, we never know, right? I mean, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So maybe just a quick little blurb from all of you about what you might be grateful for in spite of. I would love, love, love to hear, and I will, of course, share what I'm grateful for at some point. Cool. And then when we're done with all of this, sorry to all of you folks chiming in, but that's when we're going to start our party. We wish you could all be here, obviously, but we have some honey-baked ham and some yummy salad, and we'll have some Christmas music and champagne cocktails and wine and all of that good stuff for the speaker portion of the meeting. And some special desserts made by Jennifer and Andrea. Yes. That they got the recipe off of Pinterest. Yes, Jen has become quite the Pinterest stalker. So right. she got a fun little dessert, and she and Andrea made some fun desserts for tonight. So with that, we'll get started with our Around the Room. Do we want to start this way? I always feel like I start this way and put everybody on the spot. Do you want to start? Let's start that way. We're starting this way. Rick doesn't want to introduce himself.
Is this on?
I don't know, it's testing.
Testing. This is, I just want to
introduce
our special guest first.
I don't think it's on.
You're not on.
Sorry. Is there a button?
Is there a button or something you have to push? That's how tech I am.
Oh, dear God.
Audio? What about that? It says power. You could basically just talk into it. Talk into it.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Okay. So I got my Christmas present. Our son, Christopher, flew out this afternoon from Alabama, so that's nice, and he could join us tonight. As far as an update, nothing's changed except I did have a little melanoma scare for a bit, but it's fine and nothing's going on there, so that's good. I had a little surgery and that's all. And I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful for my family. And I'm grateful for the living room. Carrie, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Right. Carrie's already crying because you're crying.
I guess she's done. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm grateful for my wonderful caretaker and wife. My cancer is getting a lot better. I'm getting a little stronger. I'm doing a lot better than they told me I would.
There you go.
It's been quite a journey. I've never been sick before in my life, so this is tough. But we're going to make it.
That's good.
Hi, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everyone. I indeed have to kind of say that it really is a miracle to be here for me because I'm almost 5 years out of when I was first diagnosed. I'm on my 52nd round of chemotherapy with Tarceva, and I was on an Alimta-Tarceva combination before. Now I'm learning how to deal with having lung cancer and dealing with it more on a chronic basis. So, sometimes little things happen that kind of remind you that, you think your life is getting somewhat back to normal. And I ended up in the hospital about 3 weeks ago. And because my immune system's not quite, where it should be, and I got a really bad bacterial infection. So, things like that kind of remind you that, no, your life indeed isn't quite normal, but, I'm really thrilled with what I have right now. So I'm just really grateful for my health, my wonderful, loving husband, just so many things. One thing I might suggest, since I seem to be on the chronic path like Bonnie here, that I suggest to all of you that are going through and doing well, that you be tested, have your bone density scan done, and have your bones tested, because I just found out I've been putting it off, and it's like, I just don't want to know. And I found out that I have osteoporosis at this point, so I'm going to start therapy with an injectable. So, you don't want something else to get you, so you need to kind of, take care of the bod and get your, eat well and rest and drink and all those things of being healthy. But it's sure, as my dad says, it sure beats the alternative. I love being here. So Merry Christmas to everyone, and squeeze those that you love very close.
I'm Penelope. I'm here for my mom. She had her third round of chemo today, so she was going to come, but she was a little bit tired. So I went with her, and she also got her first scan results after her first 2 rounds of chemo, and they were really good. So we had a really good day. Everything has decreased a lot. There was no new spots, and the spots that were really lighting up a lot a couple months ago that's all decreased, and they also decreased in size, and all her blood counts are normal. And the CEA level blood that they do check for her, that has been pretty consistent with her scans, is down in the single digits now. So it's the lowest it's ever been. So she was very happy about that, and she's tolerating her chemo really well. She has a couple more rounds before she gets another scan, and then from there they'll decide what to do next. But she's been feeling good and hanging out with her grandkids, and her birthday's next week, so right after Christmas. And she's getting 2 new grandkids in May from my sister and I each are having one. So she'll be up to 9 grandkids, and she's looking forward to that.
That's how many we have.
Yeah.
9. That's a good number.
So we're all doing well, and I'm grateful for my family. We're all really close, and really help each other through everything, and it's nice.
Penelope, I just have one question for you. Compared to the first night you were here, how are you feeling? How are you both feeling?
I'm very happy to have found everybody here. Everyone's been so good to us, and it's definitely made a difference in my year, because we've had a tough one, so it really helped. Big difference.
That's good. Well, you weren't smiling this much that night.
That's Hannah, my little sister.
Oh, we can go back to the back row.
Sally.
Hi, I'm Sally, and nothing new to report, which is the best news that I could have. And I am thankful for this foundation. I'm thankful for the people that I've met through this. And I'm thankful. I cry easily. I'm thankful every time somebody has a good report to give here. That's the best news ever. And I'm also thankful for the little ones in my life and my family and the joy that they bring. And we're going to have another one in June. And they just kind of make the world the way it is. I love them all.
I'm Elaine Gray. I've had quite a week, or quite a month, I should say. I ended up getting very sick, and I didn't know where it was coming from. Couldn't hold any food down, couldn't get out of bed. And of course, the stubborn Scot that I am, I walk my dog 3 times a day. And I told her right away, these are business walks. You do your business, and we're back home. So anyway, I had my appointment with Dr. Dormady, and I told him my son drove me down to Mountain Dew, and he said, I told him how terrible I felt, and I couldn't get out of bed. I didn't even think of me being dehydrated, but anyway, he says, I think you need to go into the hospital for a couple of days. So straight from his office, we went to El Camino. My son had to get back to work, and so I stayed there a couple of days and got hydration, and it helped. It did help. They kind of threw me out on Friday. They said Medicare won't cover anymore, which really surprised me. I didn't feel good, and they wanted me to take physical therapy, like one after the other coming into my room, and I said, I'm not here for that, I'm already doing that. And I had to get pretty tough, to say, I'm not doing it. They wanted me to go down to Los Gatos, and of course they had my interests and theirs in mind. But anyway, I got home about 5:30 on Friday. Didn't feel good for a couple of days, but then I felt good most of the time, and I do now. So I kind of have little nausea things, and we're going to lay off of the chemo. He said the chemo, my body just can't take it. And I was doing the 1 a week, and then, for 3 weeks and 1 week off. And I had a lot of nausea, a lot of throwing up. But that was unusual. But now here's the bright side. I had a CT scan, and the right lung, the tumors have shrunk. And that's just the best news, because I haven't had much of that lately in about a year. So the other side stayed the same, which is what I expected. But to see that some action was going on in the right lung was very encouraging. And I'm a great-grandmother for the first time. We had our baby, and it's our baby, let me tell you. Sweetest little boy you'd ever want to see. So life is good, and I feel very encouraged. I've had some funny thoughts this time, which I don't usually have. I'm usually pretty, I'm coming up to the 5-year in May, and who knows? But anyway, happy holidays to everyone, and I'm very happy I'm here tonight.
And to her point, it is so, and even to what Elizabeth was talking about, it's so important that you stay healthy. I remember I used to tell my doctor, aside from lung cancer, I'm really healthy. And it's important to stay healthy. It's important to eat well. It's important to stay hydrated. Because you need to fight not only the cancer, you have to fight the drugs that are fighting the cancer. So your body has to be in the best shape possible, better shape than it's ever been in. So you need to focus on that, and exercise is good too. So lesson learned tonight, I think, for everybody. Really work on taking care of yourself. And we all know what we're supposed to do every day, don't we? And we all know we cheat. So no cheating. Esty, if you have any news to report. If not, talk about what you're grateful for and how you're feeling about 2012.
Okay. Well, I always feel positive.
You can't hear.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There you go.
I don't have anything new to report. I feel happy and positive, and I don't think about lung cancer. I only do what I'm supposed to do, and after that, I think about other things.
That's good.
So I don't analyze it, what's going to happen. I'm just figure it'll all be fine.
There you go. Good.
I mean, I do what I can, and just be happy. That's it.
What are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for? To be on planet Earth and still be okay.
There you go.
And I'm grateful for the company we have here. I'm grateful that you started this foundation. I think it's wonderful. And I think it's so nice of you. I mean, we all appreciate it, at least the fact that you started it. And you could have just done the best you can for yourself, and instead you did something, I think, very, I really appreciate what you, I think we should all appreciate what you did. So
Thank you.
That's what I'm grateful for.
The best thing for myself is to see you all doing well.
Yeah.
That's what makes me
I
feel
know.
good.
And myself and Phil, we are very happy. He was trying to come tonight, but he couldn't make it.
Okay.
You know, so we're very happy that you're here most of the time, and so on.
Thank you,
So
Esther.
okay, so I thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Mary, and I did 13 rounds of chemo. For the first year I was diagnosed in 2010, and then I went almost a year without anything, and then I developed a new tumor, I think. They think it's a new tumor. So I'm on Tarceva, which is a target chemotherapy pill that I'm taking now, just like Elizabeth over there. And I had my first CAT scan a couple of weeks ago, and there was no progression of disease, but they didn't see any big changes or anything. And so I'll have a PET scan in 2 months, and we'll find out what's happening. And I went and saw Dr. Krishna, the pulmonist, because we all need a pulmonist on our team. I followed Bonnie's advice about that. And I'm going to have my bone density test this week, Thursday, to have the bone density. Yeah. I am very grateful to be alive. I'm very grateful for my wonderful husband and my children, and especially my grandchildren. They, like you say, they're the joy of your life. You know, they just bring so much joy to my life. And I'm grateful for my friends. I have wonderful friends, and for this organization. I mean, it's amazing what Bonnie and her family have done. And I thank them very much. And happy Christmas to everyone out there. And if Jane and Reed are there, a special hello to you.
Yeah. The rocket dancers at the gala. Oh my God, I didn't think we were going to get Jane ever to sit down.
That one in the back.
She was
Fun.
She was
Great
going crazy.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Dave Palomares, and I have nothing new to report. I'm 3 years out from my last treatment, and as of my last CT scan, which was in August, everything is clean. So things are good. I'm thankful for, particularly thankful for my family and friends. They mean so much to me. Thankful to be around for the holidays.
I'm Carrie, and I feel like I have a lot to say, but one of these days I'm going to have to write a letter to be read to this group because I cannot speak.
Yes, you can. You can.
I'm mostly grateful that I haven't had to do this alone. It's been so hard, and I can't say how many nights I've stayed up and not been able to sleep. And I just think of all the people around me, and I'll text my friends in the middle of the night, or I'll look things up in the middle of the night, and it makes me not feel alone in all of this. friend of mine's father-in-law was just diagnosed with lung cancer on Sunday, and my words back were that this is a really difficult road, but you're not on that road alone. And I had given her this foundation information a couple weeks ago when I was telling her about it, so she already had the information beforehand. But I'm so grateful just to have other people in other perspective going to the doctors. You know, I get a very narrow view and a certain experience, but to hear people and their experiences just gives a completely different perspective and hope that I wouldn't have otherwise. And Elizabeth and Dina are my heroes, because I keep getting these CAT scans that say, you know, you're stable. And I'm like, yeah, but stable with lung cancer is not what I'm after. I'm an overachiever. What I want is for it to magically disappear. And so it has been hard for me to get my team on board with the concept, but they are slowly getting it. The service I get is amazing. So, you know, it's just putting myself in a different place with a different perspective that's made all the difference in getting through this past year. I've just passed 1 year, and a year ago now is my first time here at the living room, and I remember it so vividly, but I can't for the life of me remember what I did for Christmas last year. I don't know where I was, who I was with, nothing. I couldn't tell you where I was. I can't remember Thanksgiving either, but I remember that day, just where I sat, everything so vividly. It's meant the world to me. And now I could go on and on, but I won't. I'll share something for 2013, but I'm grateful for everybody in the room and all the sharing they've done, because even if I haven't said it to each of you individually, it's made a big difference. So thank you.
Yay, Carrie.
Thank you, Carrie.
This is my brother.
Hi, Carrie's brother.
Thank you.
Here from London for 9 months sabbatical or so to help me and my mom.
I was here last Christmas. I'm so sad you don't remember.
Right?
Yes. I just want to reiterate what my sister was saying. We're very grateful for the foundation, which has been a tremendous source of strength and encouragement through this process, and has definitely been very helpful. And so, yes, grateful that Carrie's hair is growing back curly, like Orphan Annie.
I'm singing now.
Duran family, do you guys want to talk? Do you want Jim?
Come on.
Nita? No? Jim?
Just a little something.
Well, I don't know if this is on. Is it on? Yeah. There we go. I'm very grateful for my husband, Jim, and for my daughters and my grandchildren and my faith and this organization. It's just been a good experience. You know, in a bad time, I've been very fortunate. And I saw my doctor last week, 2 doctors last week, and apparently the nodules that are in my lungs are not growing. They are, quote, stable. So who knows for how long, but I won't see the doctor again for 4 months. So I feel very good about that. And so we're doing fine.
Awesome. Fine is fine.
Thank you. I'm Neil. I started this journey a year ago, June. And one of the things I'm very grateful for is that the mortality tables that I looked at are all out of date.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I looked at that, figured it didn't really even have a chance for a year, but it's been about 1.5 years now. I'm very grateful for the doctors in our area that we're so very fortunate to have very good people that we can see to help us along, to give us the best possible information, the best possible treatment, unlike some other areas where it's not quite as easy to get to the people or to get to the most current information. I'll be very, very grateful when the word chemotherapy is something that people look at and say, oh, that's what they used to do for that? That, you know, it's somewhere way, way back. You know, they used to give people this poison that went into their body, and somehow that was supposed to help them out. And I think little by little we're getting a little bit closer to that. I do have to echo what some people have said as far as keeping yourself in good shape. To me, that's always been number one. And I love it when my doctor tells me that I'm in excellent health, except I just happen to have lung cancer.
And there you go.
So it's a very motivating factor to go out most every day and get on my bicycle and try to do the best that I possibly can, or to run or do something. And fortunately, the motivation is there regardless of anything else to go out and do that because I see the benefits of that. And taking in, as all of us have, the different drugs and reading the side effects that a lot of people have. I'm grateful that I've been able to avoid a lot of those. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because just my body reacts a little differently to it. I hope that the drugs are doing something good, and I'm always worried that if I don't have this negative side effect, that it's not helping me. But as I've learned with taking Tarceva initially for a little over a year, and then changing over to 2-drug and now a 1-drug infusion, that it's not necessarily so that you have to have all of the adverse reactions in order for something to be helping you along. So the true test for me comes on the 31st of the month, when I'll have CT, MRI, blood work, and then get the results a couple days later and see where I am. Sometimes when I get up, I do have to ask myself, what do I have? Because I feel okay, and I can do things pretty much what I've been able to do before. Hopefully that will stay for me and for all of you here for a long, long period of time. But I do know that making it through every 3-month period or 6-month period of time, that there's so much good that's being done in the different medical centers in our country and outside the U.S., that better drugs are out there to help us and to give us hope to have a good rest of our lives. I'm also very grateful for what the foundation here has done, along with other foundations in the country, to bring this disease to the fore. Think back 5 years ago, some of you who are just hitting your 5-year stage, I know Elizabeth and some of the others, you know, I would be interested in some point to find out, you know, what was in the news at that time. You know, did anybody talk about it? Or was it still, as I have to say even to myself at this point, being someone who was a never smoker, you know, still in the back of my mind, I still make the association that only people who smoke, you know, got lung cancer. Well, I didn't, and many of us here are never smokers and also didn't get it. So now that stigma is being taken away gradually because of the work of our foundation here, along with others throughout the country. So I'm grateful to be able to be here tonight, and I'll be very grateful to be here a year from now and 2 years from now, and to be able to do all of the things that all of us want to do with the rest of our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil.
Brian?
Brian.
Come on, we got to hear about Disneyland.
You guys just want to see me cry. Okay, so yeah, no new news. I don't go for another scan for another month, so that's good. Again, I agree with Carrie. I've been stable for a year and a half. I'd sure like to see that improve, but it's a lot better than the first year and a half. So I'm grateful for everyone in here, and especially Bonnie and the girls. You know, I don't know if anyone thought I'd be, including myself, I sure didn't know if I'd be here 3 years after this, much less feeling better than I did before I got sick. So I'm thankful for, you know, appearance-wise, like you were saying, I kind of forget that I'm even sick sometimes. I can take my son to preschool and not even, people who don't know, I don't think you have any idea. So, and we also just went to Disneyland. I just got back last week, and we clocked 50 miles. I brought a pedometer because I was curious, and not one time did I feel sick or tired or anything else, so it was great.
That's
and
awesome.
like I said, with all the support and what everything, you know, the advances and everything, I don't think it'd be possible because I sure didn't think it would be. So
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Brian. Danielle.
Hi, my name is Pat Richards. I got lost coming here again. Sooner or later, I'll figure out how to get here on time. This is my first time here. I have non-small cell lung cancer, squamous, stage 4. And I just finished my 6th chemo treatment. I guess I'm going to do another PET scan. And I've had one where the tumors have shrunk, but I got them in quite a few places. So that's all I have to say.
We're here to help you.
Danielle, there's a few people online. I started writing them down. There's 2 words.
Grab a mic.
No, I know, but can I? Okay.
Come over. You got to come over here, though.
You have to come here.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm technically kind of. I'm not on my computer reading my email, just so everybody knows that. I'm actually talking to everybody online. Okay, so Taylor Bell.
Yay, Taylor!
She is thankful for the entire Addario family because without them, there would be very little advancement in the lung cancer community. I have David Berman online.
Hey, Dave Berman.
And David's in LA. Taylor's in North or South Carolina? Sorry.
Carolina.
North, I
Yeah.
think.
David is grateful for his 15-month-old grandson, who is so cool, and for the BJA Foundation and Dr. David Gandera. Let's see. And then Janice is thankful for this moment. She lives for the present and not looking back or worrying about tomorrow. The present is all we have. It's a gift. So treasure family and friends who are in your life. And then I have Cheryl Hines, who is grateful for the time that she had with her mom. And she misses her so much, and she wants her back. And then I have... that's it, actually. So that's good. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was acknowledged online.
Okay, awesome. We have one more person hiding back there.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Terry, are you not
Terry,
talking?
Terry, when have you never talked?
I'm just thankful for this foundation and what Bonnie and as everybody calls them, the girls, Danielle and Andrea and everybody. But I agree with forget her name. Esty about it's a gift that you guys are willing to put so much energy for everybody, and you've been very helpful with my daughter's scenario and cases and the connections that you've helped her make and actually helped her make some of the hard decisions is the reason why she's still here. So thanks a lot.
Thanks, Terry. So I wanted to make a quick point to something Neil said.
Do I get to talk? Oh, okay.
Yes.
But I get to, because I'm a patient, right? I get to say something.
Yes, Mom,
Okay.
you get to say
Okay,
something.
good.
Just something you said that kind of rang a bell with me, and it was about the sort of the notion out there that, this is a smoker's disease. And we at the foundation try to stay really far away from anything even remotely close to the smoking stigma issue or whatever. But one statistic that is out there that, non-smoking lung cancer is so all the cancers that you could get, non-smoking lung cancer is still the 7th largest cancer, with lung cancer being the first. Obviously, just lung cancer as a whole, but in non-smokers, it's still the 7th largest cancer. It is a big, big problem, whether people smoked or they didn't smoke. So I just wanted to kind of make that point, and it's something that I think needs to be heard, and it needs to be heard from people like you, so that it can help, affect change. That lung cancer matters, regardless.
Absolutely.
Okay, now I'm going to let you say what you're thankful for.
Thank you, honey. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm grateful that my kids still allow me to do anything.
You don't need that. You're mic'd.
Oh, I have a mic. Oh, okay. See, that's why I need them.
She needs us to
I
remind
do.
her.
I do. Recently we had a young girl run across America to raise awareness for lung cancer, and her name is Kelsey Harrison. And I was lucky to talk at her little arrival party a couple weeks ago, And, you know, what do you say about somebody that got up one day and said, you know, because I loved my friend, I'm going to run across America. So I said, I groped, you know, what am I going to say? And I thought, you know, we have a tendency to measure our lives by how many years we're here. You know, if you all go back and reflect on how badly you wanted to be 13 at one point in time, right? Remember, you just wanted that teen after your number. And then you wanted to be 21 so you could mostly drink. And then you know, we're 30, and that had a whole new meaning, that probably marriage and kids and a whole new way of life. And then you get to 40, and it's kind of, you know, not bad, hey, wait, whoa, what's this? And then 50, it's like, shit, it's half over, right? I'm half done, more than half done. But really how we need to measure our lives, and all of you tonight saying such wonderful things about the foundation, I will now forever measure my life by two things: my family, my incredible kids and my incredible grandkids, and starting this foundation. Because I get so much more from this than you do. I really do. Seeing, you know, so many of you still here, and knowing that we had some effect on the fact that you are still here, and you're smiling and you're grateful. And so I'm grateful for all of you, and I'm grateful that you care about us so much, and that, you know, together we are making a difference. So that's all I have to say for now. I have a lot more to say tonight.
Trust me on that. So do I get to say what I'm grateful for?
Absolutely.
So I, like my mom, am insanely grateful for my family, and by family I don't just mean the people who are connected to me by blood, but all of you. I mean, I literally consider you all part of our family. The way each and every, see, now you're going to make me cry,
right?
The way each and every one of you have touched not only my life and the lives of my mom and the other girl, but each person who works at this foundation, by my family at home, my children. I come home and you know, they hear me on the phone with you guys from time to time when I happen to be there, and they get it. And I was telling somebody the other day, of all the jobs I've had in my life, this is one that I actually don't consider a job. It's actually something I love to do, as tired as I might get sometimes when she drags me all over the country. I'm grateful every day to be doing it and to know each and every one of you. So that's my I'm grateful, but I'm also grateful for the people who actually make this possible. Not only all of my coworkers and the people that I work with, but the financial support that we get from our corporate sponsors. And we literally couldn't do this. We couldn't do what we do without people out there, other than people who are directly affected like all of you, people who believe in what we're doing. And know that we are quite literally making a difference. So I want to thank them wholeheartedly. I want to thank our speakers, our physicians, and the healthcare teams that have come in and talked to us and been able to pass on the most current information to all of you. They have, in my opinion, been really amazing. Who else do I want to thank? Penn TV. Sorry, I look at you people every day, or once a month anyway. Peninsula Television, as I know you guys have heard me in the past thank them, I cannot thank them enough for the service that they are providing, not only via the Ustream and what they're doing, but directly to our community through the cable television network, where they replay this over and over. I can't tell you how many comments I get from people who are like, "Hey, I saw you guys on TV." So it's really great, and what they are doing to help us get the word out is amazing. So thank you to Penn TV. Who am I forgetting?
I don't think anybody.
I took notes.
Did you?
All of you who were able to come to the gala, I wanted to talk about the gala really quick. First of all,
We should have showed the video tonight.
Oh, well,
for anybody that didn't
we probably
see it.
can afterwards for anybody who was not able to attend that wants to watch the video. My sister works the other girl, she works really, really hard on this event. And she literally, the gala ends and the very next day she's starting to plan for next year. It's that big a deal, and we are so proud of that night and so honored for each of you that are able to come. If you were not able to come this year, mark your calendars for next year. It is November 9th. Look at you, Liz.
Look at you.
Well, because Elizabeth missed it this year. It was a great night, and for those of you who weren't able to come, there was a gift for patients from the foundation. So if you were not able to be there and pick up your gift that night, I have them here for you tonight. So don't let me forget, because I tend to kind of forget.
She's getting
to
old,
do that.
too.
I am.
Too.
It's
T-O-O.
terrible. It's terrible. So I want to talk about that. And for those of you who, I think I passed along the new flyer for the speakers for next year. So we're booked out through May, and just kind of as an FYI to keep you guys, like, this is what's coming. In January, Ross Camage, Dr. Camage from University of Colorado, Denver is coming to talk about molecular testing and targeted therapies. We're going to kind of do it a little bit different in January, and that is on the 15th. Oh, I have my glasses on my head. That's on the 15th.
Did you forget that?
I did forget that. I forget that I can't see till I try to read something. So he's going to come out, and he actually kind of brought up the idea to do the January's meeting a little bit different and see kind of how we feel about it. So it'll be more sort of like the Merv Griffin show is kind of how I'm.
Yeah.
It'll be like a Q&A thing. So keep kind of in the back of your minds the molecular testing and targeted therapies, any questions you might have for him that you want to ask. We will definitely have some questions lined up for him that we will start with. But I think it'll be kind of a cool, different night. And everybody's going to love Dr. Camage, because he's insanely not only brilliant but charming. So that's January. In February, Dr. Gandera is coming, and that topic is called personalizing lung cancer. Most of you have seen Dr. Gandera talk either here in person or hopefully have watched some of the videos we have of him on the website. So we're really excited about that, and that's February 19th. March is Dr. Jeff Oxnard from Dana-Farber, who my mom's in love with. She wishes it was her fourth child.
He's just brilliant. He is my fourth child. Yeah.
He's a really, really, really neat guy. He's coming out to do a clinical trials talk. He's great. And then
Jen said she thought, did you say you thought you were my fourth child? Yeah, right? Okay. He's my fifth child. He's my fifth child. That's right. I know. I thought, oh, Jen's here.
No, Jeff is great. Jeff is great. He, like I said, he's out at Dana-Farber, and he works with us through Alchemy as well. So he's fantastic. April is a timeout month, and you guys let me know. Email me your feedback on your timeout months. I think we've talked once a quarter. I kind of like to just have sort of a regroup where everybody can just kind of talk about anything and everything. But if that's not something you guys feel like you want 4 times a year, I'm happy to change that. And then in May, we're going to do a next generation sequencing. For some of you who do or may not know what that is, it's molecular testing on a deeper dive, and it's sort of where the molecular testing is sort of going in cancers across the board. So we're going to have somebody come in and talk about that.
It looks for other biomarkers that you have that are totally not related to lung cancer that could possibly create a cocktail for you that helps your cancer. Because one of the notions are, and I thoroughly believe this, at some point in time, and it could be in this next decade or so, that you will not be treated by where your cancer is located in your body. It will no longer be called lung cancer or breast cancer or colon cancer or bladder cancer. It will be called cancer, and you will be treated by your molecular profile.
You'll literally walk into your doctor's office and be like, I'm PLX24. Right. That will be your, whatever. You'll be identified more by your markers than you will by the cancer. So that's the idea behind next-gen sequencing. And there's a bunch of, there's several different people across the country and around the world that are doing it right now. Some doing dives into maybe only, 50 or so markers that have known therapeutics against them right now. Some doing way deeper dives where they're doing, they're looking at a couple of hundred different mutations that might not necessarily have a therapy for it currently, but maybe they're currently approved, but maybe there's something in a trial or something sitting on a shelf somewhere that can be, used to further examine what you've got going on. So May is going to be really exciting. I think you guys will be full of a ton of questions about it. And that's it. That's our up to summer. Well, then we'll be in summer.
The same. I'm sorry, Esty.
No. Oh.
I was thinking about this. If you could ever get Bruce Johnson, Dr. Bruce Johnson,
we could get him
to come here. He is fantastic. Yeah. He saved me from having an additional surgery because when I went there and had these additional spots all over, Palo Alto, Stanford, everybody wanted to do surgery again, and he said, no way. We just watch it. And it's been 7 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And he said, I have other patients, I just monitor it. If they don't grow, leave them alone. Right. And it's been 7 years. So
well,
I went to Bruce Johnson, and I went to Dana-Farber. I didn't care for, but I did care.
He's a great doctor, and that's what Esty is saying is a real good reason for second and third opinions, because like anything else, or five or whatever you're saying, like anything else in life, are you going to paint your room pink or green or purple or whatever? I mean, a lot of different opinions on what you should do. And it's good for you to always have the whole picture, because no one person has all the answers, ever. So that fits in well with what we believe in.
He's very nice, very easy to understand. He's wonderful, I think.
He's a good guy. He's a very good guy.
Yes, so we have, unfortunately I didn't bring that piece of paper downstairs with me, but on the lineup we have, and Danny can maybe remember because we just wrote it all down, some of our wish list speakers for the second half of the year, who we just have to...
Sort of the spiritual healing or spiritual care, just something other than traditional medicine, something that we can do for ourselves.
Right.
Well,
physical care.
And then there was you don't have a mic. So it's kind of whole body experience care. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's, I know Esty, you're really into the meditative thing. So we're going to look into having one night, right, where we can get someone to come in to talk about that. Nutrition, I would love to get Rebecca Katz to come back because I think she was great. She's got some great books. So that's definitely on the...
molecular testing, a couple of entities, we and our Alchemy, our second foundation, which we have just launched our own trial for the T790M marker. There's a website. You can actually log on and check it out. With Dana-Farber and all of our Alchemy docs, including Europe, we believe that is a marker that's involved with an inherited lung cancer. And we just launched that trial, and we're really excited about it, and we're launching 2 more this year as well. But back to the molecular testing, we were just in Karis's lab in Phoenix, Arizona, and what an amazing day. What an amazing day, actually seeing the machines that are doing this deep gene sequencing and, even talking about circulating cancer cells and all kinds of things that are happening out there. All really good reasons for all of you to be really hopeful. David Gandara said he actually had a meeting in San Francisco the same day as our gala this year. And David is the outgoing president of the 2 years outgoing International Association for the Study of Lung Cancer. And, this involves every country in the world, this association in some form of fashion. We are also members of the IASLC. But David said something that morning that was really, really significant that I want you to remember. He said, today is the beginning of the end of actually discovering lung cancer. So today, we are able to seriously work on curing lung cancer. because what they've discovered is that they used to think it was 4 diseases: adenocarcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, small cell carcinoma, large cell. But they've realized that what lung cancer is very unique to each one of your bodies.
And that was what David talked about when he came last year, right?
Yeah.
But the difference now, I think, is that his concept and sort of what he knew on maybe a smaller level 2 years ago, as it was just beginning, is now exploding.
Right.
So it's really exciting. And to say there's an exciting time for lung cancer sounds
no, there is. There's
not.
a very
But it sounds not
exciting
right.
time.
But things are happening and
Yeah.
they're moving fast and furious.
And
So
it's all related to, not all, but very much of it is related to your very unique, our very unique molecular body print, just like a fingerprint, very unique to you. And it's actually going to create a system where we're repurposing drugs that have been stuck on shelves. And David knows. David introduced us to some people at a pharma group, a biotech group in South San Francisco, and we all went to lunch last week at a company called Amgen. And we were talking about repurposing drugs, where these drugs, because they were only good for such a small piece of the population, maybe 50 people. Well, the pharmas put the drugs up on a shelf and said, we're not even going to bother to sell these anymore because no return on investment. Pharma, they're business too. They're in business to make money like anybody else. So what's happening is they're finding biomarkers that work with some of those drugs that can be taken off the shelf and repurposed just for your cancer. We have Wells Whitney, who's on our board. He's a 12-year lung cancer survivor. No one knows why. He has been on Iressa and Celebrex for 12 years, and he is fit as a fiddle with stage 4 lung cancer. So those are the kinds of
and
things.
Maker's Mark.
And Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
Yes, and Maker's Mark. I forgot about that. And sushi. And
yes.
sushi. That happens to be his very, very, very own cocktail. But what we're talking about right now is what's happening really with AIDS. Each AIDS person that's diagnosed has a cocktail prepared for their very, very special, body print. Mm-hmm. And that's where cancer is going. Cancer is going into this era where it's a very specialized treatment for specialized people, very special people with very special bodies.
Yeah.
And it's all very exciting, and it should be very encouraging to everybody in this room.
And we'll tell you all about it as it comes in.
Yeah.
But Liz also has somebody that she works with where it's a therapy through writing group that she belongs to. So we're looking into maybe getting her to come out and do that. And I was also just talking to somebody the other day about therapy through drawing and art, whether you can draw or not. So I thought that might be kind of even a fun workshop, something we could do on the side and maybe look into. So 2013 is going to be a good year. Yeah.
The patient handbooks, are they still in
Good
the works?
night. So yes. So we're also in the process of sort of and I think I've been saying this for the last 4 months, but redoing our website, this whole switch over to make things a lot easier for patients actually to navigate and get the information that they need. So the handbook is, for all intensive purposes, done. It needs to be designed and printed. So we've kind of been waiting. The two have been kind of working in unison so that they can all launch at the same time. But yes, it's coming. I promise.
But because it's a medical book, and we're not physicians, we really had to have this vetted by multiple entities, and we're passing with flying colors. Yeah. And really, honestly, they've only had to make a few technical edits to what we've put together. So
yeah, it's not that there have been so many changes. It's you got to send it to this person for a change, and then you got to send it to the medical writer, and then you got to send it back to this person to approve the change. And by the time they open the email, and
it's really very much and we were very conscious about dumbing it down. For ourselves as well, because, some of the talk, I know some of the first meetings I went to, I had no idea what these people were talking about when they were using all of their acronyms and what have you. You know, I downloaded these apps on my iPhone, cancer terms and whatever, and I'd hear them say something and I'd look it up, and it's efficacy, efficacy, efficacy. What that means is, what's the effect? Well, why don't you just say effect? You know, why do you have to say efficacy? But they do, and that's fine, and you get there. But what we did was we really tried to dumb it down, so to speak. And we actually considered calling it, at one point in time, Lung Cancer for Dummies. Because it's very, very, very easy to read, and it's very easy to understand, and it makes sense because you've already, all of you have gotten onto the internet, and you've read, I'm sure, a lot of this crazy stuff that's out there, most of which you don't understand, and all the rest is just horrible. So this is going to be your light in a storm, and a way to get you from, you know, point A to point Z to all the care you need to get. Yeah. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's coming, I promise. Hopefully going to design, I hate to even say it, I'm not going to say it because it's going to jinx it, because I keep saying it. It'll be quick, though, quicker than you think.
It's coming.
Yeah. So does anybody else have anything they want to talk about, or who's hungry? Oh, yes, Jim.
I want to ask Bonnie, how did your talk before the 700 people at Genentech a while ago?
Okay,
the Genentech talk. We got to make it quick, though.
Okay. That was great. That was absolutely great, and it was really interesting. You know, I think the thing that interested me the most was there were several people that were in the audience that came up to me later. Now, these people work for Genentech, right? Don't be mad, Genentech. They work for Genentech, and they're you know, work in labs, and they have various different jobs. They came up to us asking us for help. You know, for a second opinion, you know, could we help them get to wherever and what have you. So, I mean, you know, everybody works in a silo of some sort, and we're the silo busters. You know, we want to break out of the silo mentality in the medical world, but it went really, really well. But the really fun one I just did was in New York, and it was at the Partnering for Cures meeting. It's a 3-day meeting, and there were about 700 people registered, and there were panels and things going on all day. And they asked me originally to be on a panel for patients, and I, of course, said yes. I didn't realize it was the last panel of the 3-day meeting, and it was in the plenary session where there were 500 people having lunch listening to our panel. On the panel, and I was just amazed when I saw who was on the panel, Francis Collins, who's the director of the National Institute of Health, and Tony Coles, who is the CEO of Oncs Pharmaceuticals, and there was a VP there from Sanofi, and another foundation for myelin repair. So the whole discussion was about patients and how much should they be involved, how much should they actually be empowered. Of course, and you know how I believe they should be 1,000% empowered, and they should know everything there is to know, right? Well, some people don't believe that. You know, some people think maybe we're not smart enough. Somebody actually said that, well, you know, we're all PhDs, and just kind of left a dangling participle there, like that meant something, you know. So as things went along and various different people talked, it was finally agreed at the end of the panel. When I got to talk at different times, I said, at one point, just to kind of wrap up how I felt about this, I said, we have the solution in our bodies, and we do. We have the tissue, we have the blood, we have the plasma, we have the ability to enter clinical trials and create drugs. You people can't do it without us. You cannot do it without us. That's how important we are. We might not be PhDs, and I am not a PhD. I didn't even graduate from college. And I'm not necessarily proud of that, but I'm smart enough to do a lot of things. And so we kind of kept going, and I challenged everybody in the room. I said, well, you know, what we're really talking about here is putting people at all of the tables in your businesses, whatever you are, if you're pharma or you're physicians or whatever you are, whenever you're making decisions about a patient's care or life, you need a patient at the table. You need a patient at the table. You need to ask the patient what they think about what you're doing. And you might be very, very surprised. Right now, there's, I think, 4% of patients actually enter clinical trials. That's not many, right? I said, if you value patients and you give them a seat at your table, they will come. They will come if you value them and you let them know that they really can be part of the solution. They will come. Your clinical trial, you know, your trials will be rising and rising and rising like crazy. So then the last thing I said after much other discussion on the panel, I said, no, but I'm telling you, we want to be on your boards. We want to be on your boards of directors. That's the table I'm talking about. Not just on a committee, you know, not just over here. And then I said, and we have scientists on our boards, and we got a huge round of applause.
It was like a fist-pounding moment where she's like, no, I just want to make sure that everybody's hearing me.
Right.
I want a seat in your boardroom. And she's like, I give all you people seats in mine. She's like, I mean, it's only fair. Like, I'm, you know, without my PhD, smart enough to know that I can't do what I do without the scientists and the researchers and the PhDs in the room, right? Fine. You be smart enough to know that you can't do it without us, right? So she got a big roaring round of applause.
And I hope the people out there listening are feeling the same way, because I really believe that if a person feels valued, I don't care what it is they're doing or not doing, if you feel valued, whether it's in your marriage or in your family or in a friendship or whatever it is, if you feel valued, you give 1,000%. If you don't feel valued, you give nothing, for the most part, right? So onward and upward, guys. We're moving up. We're moving up the chain, right? We're going to the top.
That's it.
We're going to the cure.
Bonnie, I want to make one comment. When you said, which is true, we have everything in our body to heal us, but we have to use our mind, because that's how you create your body. Because when I studied the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Maharishi's interpretation in English, it said, now this is important, every thought has a corresponding physiology. So your thinking creates chemicals in your body. And they give an illustration. Like years ago in India, people, 4,000 years ago, this is 4,000-year-old knowledge, people were afraid, of course, of poisonous snakes. And they didn't have electricity or anything. In the villages, they had these little tents that the village met in. And as they were meeting there and talking, and it was getting dusk, it was getting dark. Suddenly somebody yelled, "Snake!" In the middle of the room. They thought they saw a snake. So one person had a heart attack. They rushed out of and then another person lit a candle. And what it turned out to be was a rope in the center of the tent. Mm-hmm. So the analogy is, it's not what is, it's what you perceive it to be and what you do with your perception. Right. So you created adrenaline by thinking it's a snake. And you could do that with everything in life. If you think somebody hates you or whatever it is, then you create a chemical to flee, to be sad. And so part of our healing should be how we think.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I think our state of mind
has a corresponding physiology.
Yeah. Our state of mind has a lot to do with how we feel and how well we survive this.
Okay. So,
we have a ton of food here. Are we ready to eat?
So on that note, what we're doing is we're going to say bye to all the people online.
Oh.
Bye, everybody online.
Bye, everybody online.
We're going to sign off from the Ustream right now, and we're going to start our holiday celebration. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa and Hanukkah and whatever else anybody might be celebrating. We love you all, and we will see you in the new year. That's it.
Let's eat, and that doesn't mean you can't talk and have.
Oh yeah, no.